A Denver City worker says a video he saw in a diversity training class is racist against whites. He says he is considering a lawsuit if the city doesn't stop showing it. I want you to take a look for yourself. Here you go.
Unfortunately, some of the most popular types of jokes are those that make fun of people.
A Mexican, a Jew, and a black dude walk into a bar. So a Polak and a midget get caught in a thunderstorm. So the minister turns to the rabbi and says, "How many blondes does it take to screw in a light bulb?" More fairies than a Shakespeare play, you know what I mean?
We've all heard those jokes.
Well, a Denver City councilman was so offended by the video as well that he actually wrote a letter to the mayor to stop using it. And we just received a statement here at Prime News from Denver City Career Service Authority that those are the people behind the video. They wrote to us saying, quote, "The recent media exposure and the subsequent positive and constructive feedback we've received from employees shows us that we have clearly struck a nerve. We will suspend the use of the video until we can facilitate this collaboration at an upcoming summit." Councilman Charlie Brown joining us tonight from Denver, as well as workplace expert Steve Viccusi, who is in New York. He's also an author and host of the nationally syndicated radio show On the Job. Councilman, I want to start with you because you spoke out as being offended by the video. Why?
Well, all one has to do is look at it. I think it's antiquated. I think it's only attacks the white blue-collar worker in Denver, and I think it's an insult to them. I can imagine sitting there with black Americans, Hispanic Americans, and watching this as a white blue-collar worker. I think it'd be embarrassing because it implies that it's only the white blue-collar worker who commits these statements, and that's simply not true. And so that's what bothered me about it.
Steve Viccusi, when you look at this tape, is this a good way to teach tolerance?
Absolutely
I
not.
think that this is a good example of a good idea poorly executed.
Thank you.
I think as we learned in New York and through Isaiah Thomas, racism comes in all colors, white, black, red, green, yellow. And it's an excellent idea and format, but it's just poorly executed. I would rather see a number of people from different races as examples, instead of, as Councilman Brown says, it's true, only a white blue-collar worker making racist remarks.
And Councilman Brown, if they had continued in the format using jokes, because the video was called Laughing Matter, trying to show that what you think is funny may not be, if that format had existed, stayed the same, but with people from several different races telling jokes, would that still have been a fitting video to you?
Well, to me, again, I think it's antiquated. You know, you think we're Birmingham 40 years ago. I mean, that's not the case. We're a very enlightened city, and I can't imagine people talking that way any longer.
Well, that by the way, Erica, is absurd. People talk that way everywhere, every day, but they're in all colors. So a video like that with different people with different vignettes is more appropriate. But it's absurd for the councilman to say that racism doesn't exist everywhere.
So you think people really are this clueless that they're making these kind of jokes still every day in the workplace across this country?
That is just what you said, Councilman. Yes,
I didn't say that. I know that racism exists.
People that this is inappropriate. There's nothing antiquated about it. It should just show a variety of people in different colors and places.
Yeah, of course, that's what I've been saying, but I do think some of the comments were, I just, you know,
well, in terms
it's
of,
embarrassing to me.
It is embarrassing. It was embarrassing to a lot of people, obviously, from the response, and it has now been pulled, the video being suspended. Councilman, though, how long was this used? How long did it take for somebody to step up and say, this is wrong?
Well, the individual, the blue-collar worker, lives in my district, and he called. I viewed the video and I was offended by it, and that's what happened. He's a constituent, and I did my job, frankly.
That man, Dennis Seppel, has said, this is a quote we have from him, one of our producers spoke to him, "All I'm asking is that they discontinue the use of the video and that they apologize to all the white trade workers who had to watch it." Steve, could a video like this encourage racism?
Well, not only could it encourage racism to some extent, but it really could have been done in a better format. It's a good idea, poorly executed. They should be different workers, black, white, red, as we go back to Isaiah Thomas. Racism exists, but it's everywhere. And these jokes should never be accepted, but it should be shown in all formats. All people should be shown and ridiculed for behaving like this. Men, women, black, white, red, yellow, everybody.
Absolutely.
Not just this poor white guy. It looks like an Archie Bunker type thing. It's not just isolated to white people, it's every people, as the Isaiah Thomas verdict now shows us.
Sadly, that's true. It does come, as you said, in all shapes, sizes, and colors. Councilman, what would you like to see as a training video in your city?
Well, first of all, I agree completely with Steve. He's right on, and that was my main concern, that it only picked on the white guys. You know, we spend more than $250,000 a year of taxpayer money in the city county of Denver on diversity programs. 4 people dedicated to this issue. I think that this will bring it to light. Some people are calling my office and saying, why do we even need a diversity manager? So this issue is broadening now, and I think that some taxpayers don't even know that we were spending that amount of money.
Well, if nothing else, always good to open up a discussion. That's what's been done here. Councilman
bet.
Charlie Brown from Denver, Steve Escusi, good to have you both with us. Thanks.
Thank you, Steve.